There we go. Sorry about that. You're listening to Transparency and Merit. So we're gonna have to start over because I did have us out of the studio, and so tonight we're talking the Orwellian coronavirus, and I think we are just kind of having a discussion offline
Yeah. So
tonight.
let's.
And you
So
started talking.
should we start it again, Joe? Just turn this off and just
Well, the clip played already, so we're good. We're good.
We can always, can't we edit it and edit the first part out, Joe?
Sure. Well, nothing in the first part came in, so that's fine. We'll just edit that out. Sorry, Andy Bowen. We're here.
Well, you know what? Though we have him to thank, but LSU has no school. Why is it that important? And I don't know what they're even learning at the schools. I wonder if all California.
That was the big deal today. No, that was the big deal today. In fact, the rumor was LAUSD was going to close. Announce a closure yesterday, but here we go. They waited until maybe halfway through the day, and then the market had already been up. And when the announcement was made, there were a bunch of school districts actually that canceled. In fact, one of the school districts I work with closed, and LAUSD closed. There's so many districts here in Los Angeles, in California, but here in Southern California, once they started shutting down, it was kind of a chain reaction. But LAUSD was the biggie, and once that went down, here we go. I don't know how many people they employ. I think it's 500,000 students, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of kids at LAUSD. My school district much less, and where you're at, that school district's only maybe 3 or 4 schools. So there you go.
Well, my thing is right now. Right now, and as we said before, there's only the information that you're allowed to say or speak as of now. You're only allowed to give so much information, and it's like for a long time the mainstream media, and we did talk about 1984, and we were talking about how there's that theater in Culver City that and they constantly play 1984.
I was telling you, I'd actually seen that maybe it's been a while, 6, 7. It was more like it's about 6 or 7 years ago now, but it was more of an abstract kind of portrayal of what happened in the book and in the original 1984 movie. And it was okay. Now that I think back on it, I was a little disappointed. I thought it was a little too and I hear what you're saying about kind of the who's in power, kind of dictating maybe how much can be explicitly said. So a lot of it was metaphorical, and I remember leaving there now saying the movie was far more explicit as far as what they were telling you was happening. And this was kind of a dumbed down version.
Well, when the movie 1984 came out, it was under the Reagan and Margaret Thatcher administrations. And particularly with the Reagan administration, they thought that they were, America had become more conservative. And I think there was a feeling in the country that America was living under a theocracy, which I disagree with. I mean, are sort of a theocratic nation, and now it seems like America is under the throes of a virtuistic, or striving to be a fundamentalist, a fanatical fundamentalist, anti-racist nation. and anything that goes against that narrative or questions the narratives of the fanatical anti-racist, you will get censored and shut down. And like I said, there are, they've changed the history to things, but this has always been done in the mainstream media. Who's ever in power changes history for their liking. And, we were looking at movies, and I'll go more into this, like when we do the history of Westerns or even the history of movies, the powers that be put the story to their liking. And that can always be, it can always feel like, the authoritarian rulers are on your neck kind of thing, particularly if you speak in the opposition. And now we have a pandemic, and I don't know how much we can necessarily say what is the cause of it, if it really is there. Because the one thing the internet says you can't do is you can't do hate speech,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't do conspiracy theories. They will at best they will kind of shadow ban them or limit like the distribution of it, or they will outright just cut it off the internet. And to me, it's like, why are people afraid of information?
The censorship I've seen has been kind of ugly, and some of the shows that I really enjoy, who give information that resonates the most with me, the stuff that I'm into, and some of it's kind of, I guess a lot of people are naysayers when the first time they hear it, and it takes a while to digest some of the information. And what they've come across is sometimes they'll go after another podcast or YouTuber that is discussing the same topics that podcast is going after. And so what they do is what I've seen, and it's kind of stupid, they start arguing about, who's, supplying the best information for that subject. You're not good enough to censor. Get over yourselves. No, I in a way, I agree that we don't have nearly the subscribers to have to worry about that now. But what I have seen, and where most of the censorship comes from, is when there's feuds between YouTubers, and one YouTuber has a grip of listeners or followers, subscribers, and the newcomer or the person or the YouTuber with a lot less of a following can get rated by the larger podcast or whatever YouTuber, and all the constituents, all the subscribers will start reporting that video or whatever, and then that YouTuber gets flagged for, and so it's not really a fair process. It's just one show against another, and all of them kind of, trash bomb it and start, doing the reporting and all that.
I've seen that happen on Twitter. By the way,
mm-hmm.
I wanted to say that we've never said that we were censored.
Right, we haven't.
And yeah, so when did we bring this conversation about ourselves? We're just talking about
observing
internet censorship.
Yeah, we're all
online
observers of the internet right now. We're not saying anything about this. Has nothing to do with transparency and merit. In fact, I would expect the opposite. I don't expect to get flagged. If we're just kind of reporting on observations, there's nothing wrong there. And we're not calling out other YouTubers. We're not, yelling for some sort of upheaval. We're not really doing any of that. We're just critiquing on different topics. And To me, that's interesting. I go to shows to listen to that too.
Now, by the way, should we bring this person on who is angry and upset with us?
I'm mad at you. Oh, is that why we got a thumbs down yesterday?
Shame on you for thumbing me down.
Shame.
Should we put this person in the conversation?
Why not? If you're thinking about it, you may as well do it.
Unless she has, because I want to know why. I want to know why this person is upset.
Yeah, just keep the shrieking, shrill voice to a minimum. Thank you.
Yes. Now we are calling her, and we're seeing if she's going to come on in. And we're waiting for her to respond. She said she was mad. Yes. What?
Hello?
Oh, my God.
Calling me.
Wait, we're calling you because you said you were mad at us.
Yes, we need to know why.
Say it again.
This is really not a good time for me.
Oh, so it's not a good time for you. Oh no. It's not a good time for you, so you're mad at us. How does that make sense?
No, I'm in the tub right now. Call me later.
Nope. This is a perfect time. You are bathtub girl. So,
how do I get rid of this call if I want to get rid of it? Hello?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully okay. Well, like I said, she was upset. I guess
anybody can call us. The number's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, 310-668-1969.
And then she said, "You're reacting." Well, yeah, I was reacting to someone. You know what? I have no idea on earth why you would be mad at the two of us. We have done nothing.
I think the fact that we reacted was enough to help her have a good bath. Bathe up.
Hopefully she can put Wuhan in it.
Yeah, add a little Wuhan crystal. You'll be all right.
Yes. So, I have on your chat board there. I put in a few things in there.
Okay, so I got, what's that first link? The coronavirus map, tracking the spread of an outbreak.
Yes, if you want to maybe put that up to the screen there.
Yeah,
we have the coronavirus map. We have a map of that screen.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. All right. So, and I can't see it because I'm on the Skype call, but and we're looking at the different rate of.
There is evidence on 6 continents of sustained transmission of the virus. The CDC has advised against all non-essential travel, Dennis, throughout most of Europe, South Korea, China, and Iran. And the agency has warned older and at-risk Americans avoid travel to any country. Ooh, Wuhan. So I see here, and then it has a listing. Mainland China has reportedly had a lot of cases, and then it drops down. Italy, Iran, South Korea, Spain, Germany, France, then the US, Japan, and Switzerland. US and Japan, it says it doesn't give you the avoid travel warning. So I guess we're still good here, but nothing there about Canada. And I guess it's part of the continent, but right now is not a good time to be traveling, period.
No. And well, I mean, a lot of travel has been restricted. It is killing the stock market right now.
Well, today was good. Today we had a bounce back, and I knew that was going to happen. I thought it would be connected to the closures of school districts, but it didn't. And that was nice. It ended strong. So overall, good sign. I felt like last night, I think tomorrow, meaning today, would be a good day for the market. And I was right. And it turned out okay. So I didn't really look at the individual, I didn't look at why it was such a positive day, but it looked like it was just like one of those weird bounce backs. And I guess here in the U.S., Washington has a ton of cases. California has some. Colorado, not much through the middle America. But then if you go down to the East Coast, Massachusetts and Rhode Island are both kind of getting nailed over there. Interestingly.
Yeah. Alaska, I think Alaska only has one right now.
That's Willie. And Willie's got it.
Yeah. I noticed that like Taiwan, like in the Asian countries, Taiwan and Vietnam have very few. And I think that they've done a better job at restricting their travel and restricting, their borders. So, and that's basically what I've heard is the countries that have done the best at restricting their borders have done better at containing the virus.
Well, I think this is something that the president will probably use to his advantage come election season. He was one of the first of the outspoken people.
Yeah, well, he was, and like I said, I don't, and you never know what angle the other side is going to use or how they're going to spin it to their liking. And we're seeing a personal war go on. By the way, those who look at the chat room who haven't seen it before, there seems to be a little bit of a tiff between two longtime, perhaps rivals.
And longtime listeners of ours. So thank you for being here. And thank you for bringing your drama here.
Yeah, thank you.
If you're new, if you're just coming here, landing here on YouTube, thank you. I'm Joe, and that's Brian. You're listening to Transparency and Merit. And all right, where were we with this? Can you please get to the point? What the heck is the point?
I was just saying. Well, no, we were talking about. I don't know how the Democrats, and basically, I think it's going to be Biden. How Biden is going to react. Or how he's going to spin the borders, because he's probably going to say, I'm not for open borders, and I'm also for closing the borders as well. I don't think he's going to play much of this, but as I've said before, all of the nations that have closed their borders have had far more success in containing the virus, and the news media isn't much saying that, particularly the activist news media isn't exactly saying that. So anyway, Joe, did you put a like on our?
No, but thank you, peoples. Like the show. I'm not looking at the YouTube stream, so I'm unable to do that, but. Always feel free to like, but definitely subscribe so you get alerts to our show. We're doing a lot of them now, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to bring you, I don't care what you say, we're bringing you truth, and we're bringing you perspective, and I think we're bringing you opinions mostly, though, like different views.
We're bringing you views that you may not hear all the time, and maybe you do. And like I said, hopefully you find it entertaining.
Right. But I am going to say we're not going to sit here telling you lies. That's if we can help it. We may be misinformed sometimes, but that's your job to call us out and correct us. But really, we're going to bring you other views that we're finding across the internet, and I think that alone it's kind of the new in. If we could really kind of if you have a link out there, if you're listening and you have a link to something that you think is controversial or needs addressing, send us a link and we will post that link and talk about it. But that's really our job. I think we're going to be out for the most part searching the internet, scouring it for good videos, good content, stuff that's worth discussing. I don't know how much of it's worth discussing, but we'll definitely do our job to show both sides of an angle if we can. Stop talking about your perverted pleasures, Andy. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, there we go. And this is just but yeah. Anyway, and I'm looking at Nation Master right now, and it's the country's profiles. I have also sent that link into your thing, and let me just see agricultural background, disasters, labor, industry, energy, education, economy. I wonder if Nation Master, which is the biggest thing of country profiles, and Boxing Day and tsunami. I'm just looking at all the categories: crime, cost of living, conflict. Because this is kind of a disaster. Health. Let's go to health real quick. And they don't have any. They have, the only thing they have is abortions, birth rate, fertility, heart disease, hospitals, infant mortality rate. So, I'm looking at Nation Master just to see if they have any of the anything on the coronavirus in any perspective, because Nation Master, by the way, is a good thing to go to see. And I'm going to type in the search engine Corona.
By the way, Thailand, 75 confirmed cases of this so-called coronavirus. Wuhan, 67,000. Boy, if if you're going to live somewhere, that's just not the place to be. You're like kind of surrounded by. Just saying. Wow, 7,900 in South Korea? What? That's wild.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now I went to Nation Master, and let me see here. I'm just typing up coronavirus. And nothing has come up in Nation Master, which is, it's the, it just finds trends for markets and let me type in the word disease. I don't want to. I mean, basically, it can talk about markets. I don't think it talks about anything recently, but it does. And I think we'll do a whole show on Nation Master and the standard of living and the whatnot. But for now, we're just going to. Now, by the way, I'm surprised that Japan has had as many outbreaks as it has, because Japan is the largest automated nation on Earth.
I will say this: Japan's done well enough to not be on the list of places not to fly to, though. So, so far, so good with them. Even though they have some 13. They only have 1,300 cases, So, it's a bad flu season. Let's see.
Yeah,
This is an ABC News special report. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
Good afternoon. Let's go straight to the Rose Garden. President Trump about to hold a news conference on the coronavirus crisis. There you see him, Vice President Mike Pence.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Look at all these clowns gathering here.
Beautiful day in the Rose Garden.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody being here. Today, I'd like to provide an update to the American people on several decisive new actions we're taking in our very vigilant effort to combat and ultimately
There's that fringed flag in the background.
yes.
defeat the coronavirus. We've been working very hard on this. We've made tremendous progress. When you compare what we've done to other areas of the world, it's pretty incredible. A lot of that had to do with the early designation and the closing of the border.
There we go. I told you. It's going to use it to his advantage.
And as you know, Europe was just designated as the hotspot right now, and we closed that border.
And then to the right, you see the Dow Jones Industrial here, up 920 points for the day, up 4%. So
Yes.
they had to make sure to throw that ticker in there while this guy talks. Orange Man.
Orange Man.
So that was lucky or through talent or through luck, call it whatever you want. But through a very collective action and shared sacrifice, national determination, we will overcome the threat of the virus. I also announced Wednesday night, following the advice of our medical professionals, who are doing a tremendous job, and we appreciate it very much, that we're suspending the entry of foreign nationals who have been to Europe in the last 14 days.
Look at that spray paint job on his face. Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
From entering the United States. Citizens, permanent residents, and our families, any of the families returning from Europe.
He's like that crazy uncle I don't have.
Yeah.
Will be subject to extra screening as well as self-isolation for a period of 14 days. As the World Health Organization confirmed today, many of the things that what we said were 100% correct, including our designation before them of Europe. Like our earlier very aggressive actions with China, this measure will save countless lives. I appreciate a number of the folks behind me, number of the people behind me said that that saved a lot of lives, that early designation. But it is only the beginning of what we're really doing, and now we're in a different phase. We had some very old and obsolete rules that we had to live with. It worked under certain circumstances, but not under mass circumstances. They were there for a long time. They were in place for a long time.
You see there's what this crunch that everybody's feeling. I think it's really to expose these flaws that he's talking about. What's outdated, what worked in 1984 that's not working today.
Well, and it just goes to show you how and I don't think certain people recognize what, how things have changed, and how things, when the movie 1984, we were living under a much more conservative nation. Not so much anymore, and we were living under somewhat of a more religious, a little bit more of a theocratic. I mean, there had been a kind of an insurgency of the religious right to a degree, and now we're now it's mainly, like I said, to me, the control is the anti-race. The people that were making the 1984s, them and their children are now in control of the mainstream media, and they censor anything out there. I mean, and their children are in control of the internet. Basically, they're in control of what goes out online, and basically they can't handle it, and they basically, they basically control what you're allowed to listen to. Because, like I said, to them, information is dangerous. And
Debbie, call in. The number's there.
We can call her. We can call her right now.
Let's try her out. Let's try her. Come on.
But Angela's on the call though. Hopefully she won't call.
Well, she hasn't talked. Why don't you hang up?
Let's bring in Debbie.
All right. Got it.
There we go. You're able to.
Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you taking a bath, or can you talk?
No, I'm just sitting here. I answered on my phone for some reason. What's up, guys?
How are you?
Not much. So now, how is the coronavirus in Dallas?
Yeah,
we're here in California.
We haven't gotten your take on what's happening.
I don't know. I don't think we have any. I think there's like a couple or something. It's like, no, I think it's all just weird. I don't know what's going on. It's just too weird, Now,
have the store shelves, have they been bare? Like when you've gone to the store, has stuff gone bare and stuff like that?
There's no toilet paper.
Right. It's
What?
same,
What
same
is
deal
the
here.
deal with the toilet paper?
I'm not
What is-
sure. I'm not sure. It's the weirdest thing to me. In my view, this shouldn't be happening. There's no worldwide shortage of toilet paper, people, but for some reason all the shelves are empty in the toilet paper sections of the markets.
Well, one theory.
Does it come from China?
Well, no. One of the okay. Well, one of the theories is this: if you get quarantined, you can't go out and buy toilet. You can't go out and buy toilet paper.
Whoa, easy, Chief. You all right there?
Yeah.
You having a seizure?
No, but
Okay.
no, if you get quarantined, you can't go out and buy toilet paper. And one of the things I've noticed of the films of these people buying all this toilet paper, these are basically foreign-born immigrants who aren't used to living in a third world foreign-born immigrants who are not used to being born in a first world country, because when they have pandemics, things fly off the shelf, and they're reacting the same way they would act in a third world country. And that's one of the things about having third world migrants into your country. They're going to behave in certain ways that people in the first world don't act or behave like. I mean, during World War II, we rationed stuff. There was rationing of food and other materials. And you always thought of your fellow man and your fellow soldier fighting overseas. This isn't the case today. I mean, the more kind we are with our borders, these people who are coming here don't necessarily feel about us the same way, and it's more about opportunity and exploitation than it is about, embracing our values and stuff. And it just,
I wanted to know if you guys had shown. I was going to ask you guys if you have watched
Hello.
not the Marine, but the guy over in Afghanistan that did he did a video and it got 44 million views. And y'all
Whoa.
it's real short. Y'all got to play this seriously.
What was he saying?
I don't know. Just on YouTube, I found it by Googling Marine. Let me see if I can find it. United States
I'll find
Marine guy.
Okay.
Video from Afghanistan. From Afghanistan. See if you can find it that way. I bet you can.
how long ago was that?
Yesterday or the day before. It's pretty wild.
Yep.
People are talking about it everywhere. I just heard about it on.
Is it a violent clip? Because there's one that's
No,
violent.
not at all. No, not. It's something that Mr. Midnight Movie would have to. What you just spoke of. You just talked about what this guy said in this video, but you've got to see this.
Well, I'm not finding anything with that many views. So.
But by the way, Debbie, have the schools been shut down where you're at?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Here he is. Okay, put in retired Marines message about travel ban goes viral. That's it. So I know it's long, but it's a short video. You really, really need to watch this, Mr. Midnight Movie, especially after what you just said. Retired Marines message about travel ban goes viral.
Oh, I've seen this guy. I know who you're talking about, but you know what? Let's see here. Video goes viral. This guy with the beard. This one is yes. Here he goes.
Listen to that, Brian. Listen to what he says.
It's a 6-minute clip, so Brian, you got to talk during it.
Yeah, just go past the first
Marine
part.
Staff Sergeant Steve Gurn was working as a private security contractor.
I'm currently in Iraq, which is one of the countries that were on the list. And there's been a lot of discussion about the executive order. Obviously, in the United States, there's lots going on. And over here, there's a lot going on as well. Just a lot of things you all don't see. So the other morning, we were having a discussion on the executive order, and a lot of the Iraqis obviously showed their displeasure in this executive order and why they feel like they've been betrayed by the United States and so on. Now listen to what they had to say, and after they were done, yelling and screaming about their opinion on things, I asked a simple question, and I got an answer to that simple question. I got it without hesitation. My simple question was, as an American, if I went out in town right now, would I be welcome? And they instantly said, absolutely not, you. And I said, okay, so what would happen if I went out in town? And they said, the locals would snatch me up. And
all right, Brian, any comments?
We're having a discussion.
Because I know if we just play this straight through, we're going to get flagged.
Wait, here's the good one. It's not copyrighted, babe. It's just a Facebook post.
All right. Is it?
Oh, I've
Do you have a better clip, Debbie?
No. Okay. Well, I was gonna say that. I've heard that before. Like, they're accepting. It's basically what they're basically saying, and what a lot of these migrants say is, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is for everyone.
No, that's not what he says. He says.
No. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. But that's not what he talks about. He talks about how if he goes out in the street, they'll kill him. And he goes, and we're supposed to let you in our country? Are you kidding me? And it's pretty interesting. It sounded just like what you were talking about. Seriously.
Well, no, but that's the theory of what's mine is mine. What's yours is for everyone. Because no one disputes that. There are a few people that will try to gaslight and say that's not happening. But for the most part, their theory is, like they said, well, we've been colonized, basically, is what they kind of say.
I don't think that's not what I heard. He just said that they said if he went out into the world over in Afghanistan, that they would kill him and cut his head off. And he goes, and you're wondering why we don't want you in our
afraid.
country.
People had been.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's all. I was just backing up what Brian was saying. That's all.
Let's hear some of this. Who's calling us? Who are you? All right. Let's see. Brian, is there any way to take this caller? I don't. All right. I might have to call you both back in. Oh, they hung up. Never mind. See, Brian, this is why I need you in the studio. We got to fix your sound. Sorry, caller. Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that. We all got disconnected.
You got disconnected.
I didn't.
Brian, were you able to figure out who that caller was?
No.
Oh.
Did someone try to call you?
Yeah. Sorry, caller. You might want to try again.
You think it was who?
Yeah,
but
probably.
I got this one. This is you colonized us, and this is a British person.
Yes. The sky. Oh, by the way, Angela posted that it's the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. This year it gets crazy. In December, there's a Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto conjunction. They call it the Grand Conjunction. It's something to keep track of in the sky, but then again, maybe it's nothing at all. Who knows? Eventually, I'd like to talk to some people who do know this the sky chart a little bit better than I know it, but I think that's interesting. Thanks, Angela. All right, where were you going with that, Brian?
Okay. Well, this is kind of to a degree. Laura Fowler, I think it's Laura Fowler, I think her name is.
Fowler.
But Flower. I don't know, but she's British, and she's had a problem with mass immigration, and this is her rebut to to the main argument that is given. And I don't know if you want to play that. I put that in your Skype box, by the way. No?
So this book comment that I always get below my YouTube videos, and it's a comment where every
Uh-oh. I'm getting a little buffering.
time I see it, I'm like, a little bit more energy drains out of me every time. And the people that say it usually think that they're being really original, and it's always written with this really smug and snarky gotcha tone. And I'm just like, please stop. So I've decided to address the comment once and for all. So for anybody who's watching this video and doesn't know who I am, maybe it's the first video of mine that you've watched. I am a nationalist from Britain, and on this channel, one of the topics that I talk about quite a lot is demographics and how I'm against the changes that are currently taking place in Britain. So here is the comment.
You must not be aware that your ancestors were colonisers who pillaged Africa of all its resources. You should just get over the demographic changes that are taking place in Britain today. You deserve them.
Do you guys expect me to respond by saying, you know what, yeah, you're right, my ancestors did some bad stuff, so it's fine for other people to do bad stuff to my people now? Fill your boots. Who in their right mind would respond like that? Let me be very clear about the fact that I will never be willing to put even a single European person at risk, no matter what level of suffering my people have inflicted on anybody else at any time in history. But this comment is based on such a falsified and biased narrative of history anyway. The British Empire didn't just simply steal minerals and hold slaves. We spread healthcare and democracy, education, technological advancements, and the rule of law to a quarter of the globe. We brought civilizations out of the Middle
Ooh, sounds kind of cute. I'm just saying.
Ages and into the present day. You can't compare that to the people turning up on Britain's shores today who are a net burden to us. But despite this, I do think that every nation should have the right to be untouched by others, even nations that Britain has previously colonised. It should be one rule for us and a different rule for everybody else. So my viewpoint is pretty simple. Although I think that other nations benefited greatly from British colonialism, I believe that going into other people's nations uninvited and against the wishes of the native population, whether that be an historical colonial venture or modern day immigration today, it's wrong. I have a very black and white viewpoint on this. But when people say this to me, are they saying that going into other people's countries...
stop talking.
Okay.
Well, all right, what's going on here? Jeez.
Well,
stop
like
sending me boring videos, man. Come on.
That was not boring. I thought that was
come on, man.
But that is just, like I said, it's just a point of view that how long should Europe and people of European descent be punished, or how much demographic change should they
Brian,
accept?
Brian, it's just like the blacks holding us accountable for slaves. I mean, it's bullshit.
Yeah, how long should we be accountable for that?
Yeah,
for something
everything they fucking say is your grandfather enslaved my grandfather, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what I tell them? I'm not my grandfather. I'm not my great grandfather. I'm not my grandfather. I'm not my father. I'm not my mother. I'm me. I can only be accountable for what I do. But I mean, they're American citizens. If we're talking about immigration, what right do you have to somebody else's country, to their resources? And what right do the people have to decide who comes in, who comes into their country? And do we have a right to decide who comes in and who doesn't come into to our country or to their country?
Well, try to go into Russia and see what happens.
Well, that's true. Russia has contained its borders, and also the nations. And I said this before in the beginning of the show. The nations that have closed their borders have been more successful at containing this virus, the coronavirus, than other countries, than the countries that haven't. And for example, a lot of places in Europe who basically didn't close their borders got bigger cases of it. And Canada is an example of a nation. We closed down our border and Canada didn't. And now Trudeau's wife has it. I mean, I don't know if that's a correlation, but it's like, you kind of got to be aware that you're having a pandemic, and you need to react perhaps accordingly.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that people look at it and say, well, we're all immigrants. Everybody's an immigrant. My family, but that was back during the conquest. I mean, You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I guess people could say that America is not a nation of immigrants, but a nation of settlers. And then, like I said, there is debate on whether America is a nation of immigrants or a nation of settlers, and do these immigrants have a right to set immigration laws, and do we have the right to set standards for our country, and do we have
any goddamn thing we want to? I mean, if this is our land, we fought for this land. I don't know if you remember the American Revolution, but we're lucky we're not under the Queen's rule, because we fought like dogs. People died on this soil protecting our rights. And
also we wrote a constitution. We developed a rule of law, and it is from Europe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, to me, it is a debate to have, to like who has right to a country and what rights.
Nobody has. We don't have rights to other countries. They don't have rights to our country. You're not a citizen. There's rules.
Yeah.
Am I right? I mean, it's
well, right. At Debbie, at this moment, I mean, it seems like the powers that be. They want, there are certain powers that be. They won't tell you they want open borders, but it looks like that's what would happen if they were in charge. I could be wrong on that, but there are people that believe. Have you ever heard the people say, what's the chant they say? No ICE, no wall, no USA at all. Have you heard that chant?
No.
No.
Really? That's what Antifa.
I'm telling you, man. Nobody knows anything about Antifa except for you.
Really? I guess, yeah.
Why does
it's not a thing.
Institutional system of racism? What does she know about racism? I mean, what is she even trying to say right there? That's so stupid. That's a dumb comment. Institution of racism. Racism is just hating a race. It has nothing to do with what's going on in this fucking country. We don't hate races of people. We just want people that come in here to be here legally or not come in here at all.
Well, I mean, like I said, and there are people that believe, who want to say, can we decide who comes in and who comes out? And are we deciding? I mean, is this immigration? I mean, do you think the immigration system that we have now and the way it's done, do you think most Americans would be in favor of it if they knew about it?
I'm not sure what your question is. Say that again.
Can you seriously stop, man? You're doing this all night. Get to the point.
All right, here's the point.
God.
The way that immigration is handled today, with people crossing the border and people being given green cards and other things that are being allowed, do you think the majority of Americans would be in favor of it? With what you know about the immigration system?
Yeah, I think they would if they're on the left.
Yeah, but do you think most Americans, and are most Americans today on the left on this issue?
No. Do you?
No, but I think more and more are perhaps becoming that way, and I'm not sure how most Americans really feel about immigration. And it's. I mean, we're not like Europe because America was founded on an ideal, not an ethnicity. But America, was founded by people of European descent, and our first immigration laws were, basically it was restrictive to people of Europe. It was restricted to mainly people of European descent. And then in the 1965 Immigration Reform Act, basically, it basically did away with the old restrictions of the past. And they've had a few, and this had been done, before, but then, like I said, the 1965 Immigration Reform Act really kind of reversed the trend from Europe. Some would say from the first world to the third world. And we're seeing the ramifications like this today. And yeah. So YouTube addiction, guess who? So, Anyway, I just was looking at the sign. Is that anonymous?
You used to hang around my shows called Anonymous.
Any guesses tonight? Any guesses at all?
Is it, by the way, is that Fox?
No. He would be telling us how
It's somebody with a YouTube addiction.
No, remember a long time ago when that guy used to come into our shows all the time called Anonymous? Remember?
Oh yeah.
That's him. That's him.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no, that's him. I remember his YouTube channel was called YouTube Addiction.
Nice. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I never knew anything about it, that username, except
I used to love my show.
Yeah. Always there. Is it a man or a woman?
Yeah, there he is. It's 454. Remember what was the rest of your name, Angel? It was something 454 was the first part of it. It was some really cool name.
By the way, Debbie, we have had a debate on our on the Discord chat. Joe is convinced that Reds is a man.
I didn't say that.
I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. Yeah, Slayer 454. That's right. Reds is not what she says she is. She's not a little Chinese girl.
You're giving me Wuhan.
That I will promise you. She
Give me the Wuhan.
She knows I know. So
Reds has not been around since you two had a falling out. What happened?
I don't know. I just came into Discord one day and she hated my guts.
And by the way, Debbie, you have not responded to any of the tweets I've sent you.
I haven't checked Twitter this month. I don't know the last time. I don't even remember.
Yeah,
the last time.
I've stayed away from Twitter for sure, but I got to start posting links to the show. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
By the way, I just wanted to add, Debbie, have you listened to any of our besides? And by the way, were you really upset that Joe said go, Debbie? Did you really think it was?
I thought he said go, Debbie, go.
Why would I do that? Get out of here.
Shit. Okay.
Get out of here.
Yeah. By the way, have you listened to any of our shows since Joe said go? You go, Debbie.
Yeah, you've had I listened to all of your shows.
Woo!
Did you listen to Corona Fever?
I did. I thought that was stupid.
That was
Sorry.
that was just for Discord. That was. Hey, by the way, we hit a milestone just now. We have 10 live listeners. Can't thank you enough. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good.
It, tip, and I'll get my crowd here. Hold on, share.
I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling really good. You've come to the right spot.
Good. This is just like the old days when we were riding Devin's coattails.
Yes.
Can I make an announcement on your show?
I think people know you're in here, Debbie. You bring the crowds from Spreaker and Blog Talk. Your Blog Talk.
I just now tweeted it, so there we go. But can I make an announcement? I've been invited back to a non-UK radio.
Nice. I think Brian and I should do a show on there with you guys, but I really want to go on there and talk to these UKers.
Oh, yeah.
They invited me yesterday afternoon. I got a message from them, and I went into their Discord, and they wanted me to do a show on there, so that's good.
By the way, now there's been someone just put a dislike in our thing. I think that was who.
Who? Darren?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
I'm not. Well, it's.
I think it was Darren.
There was a rock.
Your dislikers, because I proved it last night. I came into your show last night, your dumb one, and there was only, it said 2 people are watching, which was me and Darren. There were 2 likes and no dislikes, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a dislike appeared.
Darren,
And so it had to have been Darren.
Darren, you better answer. This is a heavy accusation, and I want answers, buddy.
You can find out.
You're coming in here and putting your thumbs down on your friend's
How
show.
dare you!
Wake
By
up.
the way,
Wake up. I want answers, buddy.
Wait. There's a person in Discord, and I just want to. Have you heard this name before, Joe and Debbie? His name is Kum Kum Keem. Kum Kum Keem.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I just like that name.
Welcome to the show, King. Come.
And Joe, so why didn't you tell me that Reds is a man, but now you're saying you didn't say that?
I don't know. I know you said I've come to that conclusion. I threw it out there as a possibility. That's all. I'm glad that you took it.
I've known who Reds is since the year 2014.
What's his real name? I'm kidding. Stop it.
But here's the thing. I was supposed to meet Reds, and Joe talked me out of it, saying it's going to be a crying game situation. And I said I always liked hot dogs.
Gross.
I'm kidding. Come on. Take a joke.
Oh, it's funny.
He really likes chili dogs, which is even worse.
Well, I had pizza today, and I'm really overeating. It's really hard, by the way.
Have you ever been to that really famous hot dog place, Okie Dog? You ever been to
you know what? One of my coworkers, he swears by it's an Okie Dog, right?
Yeah, Okie Dog. If you've never been there, it is amazing. Here's what they do. I won't go there anymore. It's just too gut busting. But it's 2 hot dogs wrapped in a tortilla with chili, cheese, and onions, and so it's like a hot dog burrito. At 2, I've only had it at like 2 in the morning on a couple occasions, and it's just at 2 in the morning, maybe one of the greatest things I've ever experienced, but I don't recommend going to Okie Dog.
I think that's called the Al Goldstein special.
Yes.
It's like one of those, Jew car dealership guys. I gotta go to Okie Dog after my, 4th pack of cigarettes. Yeah. By the way, I have heard that cocaine is one of the cures for Wuhan, not Corona, but Wuhan. No, but it's they said that ccocaine can help cure the coronavirus.
Is Slayer really here, Debbie?
Yeah, right there. His name's YouTube Addiction.
Oh, that's Slayer. I didn't know Slayer was the same as Anonymous.
Slayer 454. Remember?
Okay. I didn't put it all together. No, only 9 listening. How many do you have listening, Bathtub Girl? 0.
Yeah, why don't you get a show?
0.
By the way, Debbie, are you ever going to do what we do on YouTube and start live shows on there, live streaming?
I'm doing them. Y'all haven't seen any of them, have you?
Oh, so you're copying us?
Yeah.
I'm copying y'all. Y'all invented live streaming.
We did. We are the first.
We invented it. We came up with it. Abracadabra.
Let me just say this. We may not have invented it, but we brought the fun to it. Ow!
Well, you only. By the way, Debbie, you only did it after we did it.
Uh-oh. Busted.
This is true. I'm following in your footsteps. I thought the one when y'all were on webcam was so cute.
We should do another one.
I love with you guys is watching you guys on webcam when y'all were doing those stupid videos in the desert. Remember?
Oh, those are the best.
When I called him a crack whore.
Yes. Oh my fuck! I've laughed at those videos until I was sick of
These are the tools we got.
You called him a crack whore. I remember. You called Mr. Solution a crack whore one night.
Oh God, that guy. Whatever, he was on, by the way. Mr. Solution has been on the TRS show a few times.
He's still
But he hasn't hooked up with you anymore. I guess one angry just like humiliated him away.
I believe that. I do.
Somebody
that grade that was 27% grade.
Oh Jesus! Well, you know what? His arrogance caught the better of him, and I think he's a man who can't apologize, and for the most part, he can't apologize, and I think he's a bit of a narcissist.
All right, we're about done. Can we at least have a little bit of drama before we go, and maybe see if we can strike some chords? All
right. By the way, let me ask Debbie. You're going to be on a British show, right? A group of British people,
a non-UK.
Yeah.
And but are you? Because there's been a whole large election in Britain. Conservatives just swept the House. I wonder if freedom of speech is going to come back in Britain, and they left the EU, and if immigration is going to change as well. That's just a thought.
I don't know. I think immigration kicked their ass. Open borders kicked their ass.
Yeah. By the way, Political Woodstock says that I'm being cruel to Reds. No, I'm not.
She says it's connected to me. You know that. That's all she ever thinks about or talks about.
Here's the deal. It was Joe that's being cruel to Reds because he told.
You brought it up, and I was not gonna say that. No.
Now, where is Reds, by the way? Because I might want to go out and meet her someday, just to have a steak like you and me did, Debbie.
You go to the upper east side of New York.
Oh no, I'm not going that far. It's too cold up there now. Anyway, I don't like the snow. Not for me. But maybe I'll invite her to California.
Yes. Come on, Reds. Yeah. Come on down. Stay with Mr. Midnight Movie.
Now, by the way, Debbie, have you ever heard Reds talk before?
Yes.
And by the way, Reds has called me a racist. Does she really believe that?
Yes, she does.
Is she kind of a lefty-pefty?
Big time.
Oh, my God.
That was the reason we got in the original fight that we got into was because I was trashing those fucking idiot Democrats, and she went nuts. She was drunk. It was in February. She got drunk one night. She tried to apologize, and I said, there's nothing to apologize for. You're a lefty.
By the way, I was going to ask, is she hot or is she not?
No, she is not.
Uh-oh. Why do you say that? Come on. That's me.
Those pictures she posts are not her.
What?
They're not her.
Oh, come on.
Ask her to hold up a sign that says your name on it with the date and timestamp it.
You know what? Why don't we put... Also, we can do...
let me ask you this, Debbie. Have you ever heard Red speak?
Yes, I have.
And is it kind of choppy English?
No, she's not Chinese.
Why not? Why can't she be? She can be whatever she wants.
She's under a sock account that she's played to the hilt.
I don't.
Why is she catfishing everybody?
Well, I'll just have to let her explain that to you. Apocalypse can verify one thing. A long time ago in the year 2014, when Bloviator first hit the scene, she had the avatar of Alec Baldwin. Remember? She called herself Bloviator. Okay? She talked to Apocalypse when on Christmas Eve night, me, Apocalypse, News Guy, Stabby McHugs, a bunch of people were going to go watch a video together, which we did on Skype. She came in there through Apocalypse. And I said, why doesn't Bloviator speak? And Bloviator said to Apocalypse, if Debbie heard my voice, she would know who I am, and I used to troll her on Blog Talk Radio. It's Jane Dormer. Jane Dormer has red hair. Her name is Sue. She called into my original show one night. I got the call. I know where it's at. She said her name was Sue. Then she changed her name to Jane Dormer. Jane Dormer is a famous queen that has red hair. She called herself Red, and now she knows that's who it's Jane Dormer. Don't I remember Jane Dormer?
Now, what about the old lady that used to sing on your show?
Oh, what was her name? She got cancer. Melissa.
Yes.
Melissa. What was her name? Melissa.
I can't remember.
She go, oh, I know you're Zeki. She was always so drunk. Oh my God, it was great.
Yes.
Good times.
Yes. And whatever happened to Commander Cumslinger?
Nothing. He's around.
Oh, really?
Who do you think Nimbuster is?
I don't know.
Nimbuster is, oh, I've said too much.
I never know who Nimbuster is. I always liked Nimbuster, but I'm probably getting like, who knows? Probably getting memes made about me behind my back. I hope not.
Yes, I bet you are.
Last chance for call-ins, or we're going to end it. I promise.
Yeah, we've been promising to end this show since Corona started.
You know, it got completely derailed when you brought her on.
Oh, shut up.
What's your problem?
How did she even get in here? Did she see through the
Well,
fire?
you're letting her mouth off, and there's no way she can.
Why are you bringing this on? Why are you saying this now? Jesus
But you
Christ.
should know better by now.
Know what? What is your problem?
What's wrong with you, Angela?
She completely derailed your.
You know what?
Nobody derailed the
She's been
show. We only got 9 listeners.
Actually, you know, our numbers hit an all-time high for us tonight when Debbie joined.
Well, no, because you're staying on longer this time.
Well, the facts are in.
They went up, and who else?
They went up when she came in.
Mm-hmm. They were already at 9 when she came in.
No, they were much lower when she came in.
You just came in. You just came in. We tried to call you. Oh my God! You just came in. We called you too, and we thought you had hung up, but you decided to just come in. Joe, did you call her back up again?
No.
Reds. Why the hell would you do that? Why? What the hell did she do?
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why
what
not?
did she do? Yeah, you allow this woman to call her a chink. All these other labels and names.
Wait a minute.
I haven't heard that word once tonight.
When did I didn't say any of that? What are you talking about? Let's put the nonsense
saying
here.
that particularly, actually, Joe is the one that allows her to be called chink in that Discord room by this woman you had on the show. And she said that, on what does she know about racism, about the institution of racism, which is a system, institutionalized racism.
Now, Debbie says Angela has no idea what went on between me and Reds. It was all in private. Angela always lies.
Angela always lies. Why do you come in? Why are you coming in here? Why are you coming in here? Yeah, why are you coming in here and lying?
Because your show was good. It was good until you brought her on. She was good for maybe 5-10 minutes. Then she couldn't help herself. She derailed your show.
She's only been on 15-20 minutes.
Wait a minute. Let me just say this. Angela, you were saying that our show is slow. Let me read the little chatty poo here.
Okay, read it. Read it, baby.
It says here, you just ruined the show, guys. Great.
She wasn't listening, and let me see here what was being said.
Recent.
All right, let me see what you were saying. I'm not calling in. It's raining, and then you also said, "What did you say?"
Stop raining now.
It's Saturn and Pluto. It's posted on Skype. Let me see here. The last time.
Blog.
Oh, by the way, and you also voted thumbs down on one of our videos. How dare you?
That was yesterday. You guys blamed it on Darren. That was me.
Why did you do such? So you think we suck baloney?
Well, on that one show.
What show was that?
the Italian whatever Corona thing that you did. Was that last night?
Yeah, you didn't think it was funny?
No.
Fuck you.
No, but I had been exposed to the virus. So of course it's gonna be funny to me.
Angela, why are you coming into our show and telling a bunch of lies?
What are you talking about?
Just lie after lie with you now. What happened to you? You said
now you sound like the granny.
You said when you came in.
Tell you grandpa now.
You said when you came in you were having a tough time. So you're coming in here in a bad state of mind.
I've been having diarrhea. I've been sick. I've been exposed to the virus.
Oh yeah.
But just the truth of it.
Oh no.
It's not been fun the last couple of days. Well, just saying. Have you been exposed to the virus? Maybe you have.
Well,
maybe you have, but here's
definitely were.
Wait a minute. Listen, hold on one moment, please. Hold on a second here.
I'm sorry, a little Wuhan for you.
That's funny. This is back to your real show, not kissing some granny's butt. You know, just ugh.
Now, by the way, we've now gotten 4 dislikes since you've been into the show, and I won $20 on it.
Yeah.
What was that? But here's the deal.
All right.
You know it was her and her stock accounts. But go ahead.
Well, who knows? You listen. All I'm saying is that our show had quite a few more likes, and then our likes disappeared, and our dislikes.
No likes, no hate. I thought that was pretty good, actually.
Not a single luxury. No likes.
I've never been told that before, High Ridge.
It's not that big of a deal, but your show got derailed. I mean, 100%.
Well, let me add. By the way, Reds. You know what? Reds doesn't talk that often. Do you know who Reds is? Is Reds really an Asian person? And is Reds the person in the pictures? Angela?
Come on, Angela.
She's a private person.
Angela, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what you say. When Debbie came in, we had over 10 listeners. When you came on, we dropped down to 6. What the heck's going on with you?
She's telling people, let's go. Come over to my show. I'm live. I can just, well, maybe she didn't type that, but it was sent. Trust me, it was sent. Okay. But this gets off the topic, which means you just need to stay on your own stuff. You're funnier without her. You're more relevant without her. Just saying.
But the thing is, what do you think of Red's catfishing people?
He's not catfishing.
I fell in love with her.
Well, you should still be in love with her. She's a wonderful person. And she is cute as her pictures.
Is she half Asian? Is she Asian?
Half Asian.
Is she Asian? I'm thinking of half Asian guy.
She's Asian. I don't know what percentage. I never really asked her. But I don't ask things like that unless I think they're Jewish.
Why? Are you more anti-Semitic than you are racist?
The Grand Wizard of the Klan really loved your idea, what is it called? The Civil Rights.
The Civil Rights Industrial Complex. Yeah, that's great that I can help.
He's using it now.
Send me a picture. That's great that I can use the Klan.
Okay.
He's using it in his work. Watch the sermons.
I want to hear a little bit more of Trump.
Taking them down.
What about Trump?
And they're very usable for certain instances, but not for this. To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words. The action I am taking will open up access to up to $50 billion of very important and a large amount of money for states and territories and localities in the fight against this disease. In furtherance of the order, I'm urging every state to set up emergency operation centers effective immediately. You're going to be hearing from some of the largest companies and greatest retailers. And
people really missed out on that.
Someone said you're a pathological liar. Doctor confirmed.
Whatever. Towards the end of Orangey's speech, he talks about student loans. You might be interested in discussing that.
By the way, I want to mention, will you and Debbie ever go back onto the Dr. Phil show? I think you can make it #1. You two. We want to go on. We want to go
the story.
We want to go
that
on with
lady. Of that lady. I remember I called her when she was reading out these text messages from the manager, or I forget what she was, director. Can't remember.
Wait a minute.
Anyway.
Let me ask you this. Debbie has asked.
Oops.
She said you ran away.
More than likely not true.
I'm sorry. Can you? What did
she said? She said you ran away from Dr. Phil.
I ran away from Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
they called me. Don't you want? Here, hold up. They call me saying, "Well, this is so and so from the Dr. Phil show." That's how she sounded. Wouldn't you like to fly to LA? I said, is this regarding Debbie Daly? And she acted all surprised. Like, yes, do you know her? I'm like, it just got from worse to worse. And I had told her a few things about the nature of this grandma from Texas. And she didn't believe me till I called her up. I said, she's talking about you right now on her show. And she listened, and I can hear the voice on the computer. I said, now, don't you understand anything you tell her? She's going to tell everybody. I can see that. And she's gritting her teeth. That would never work with them because she's been shown to be a fraud.
Well, you know what? If you would have flown out to LA, the both of you, Joe and I would pick up the tab for all four of us to go out and have a nice steak dinner. And we could film it.
I could have gone out there. I didn't have to be on Dr. Phil.
Listen to me.
I had someone who was seeing that was in LA.
We would have gotten the booth at Petrelli's. The old redhead would have served us our steak. Joe would have been filming it. And I wanted, like, one of you would have cut the steak and the other one opened my mouth wide.
You're just getting too excited. You're getting too excited over all this. 2012, I think that was, or 13. You know, I've slept since then. Maybe you should sleep. Maybe you could sleep if you didn't have to pee all the time.
Well, here's the deal. What you could have done is you could have cut the steak up, and then Debbie with a fork could have fed me, and Joe could have filmed it. Like each, like you cutting up slices of T-bone steak, and and then Debbie putting the fork in my mouth and me chewing it up deliciously, and that would have been
the only way a knife would be used at that table is in a way I can't describe right now. No.
Oh.
So, how many people are on a mandated vacation starting now? I know I am.
I might be.
Might be. Angela's on vacation all the time, so that's good.
Hell yeah!
By the way, you scared Debbie in the room. She thought you might be violent. Unfortunate. But I think you know what?
I mean, that was nuts.
Yeah. By the way, I have to get to bed.
All right.
Joe, are you coming over tomorrow?
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks again for listening. transparency, merit.
Wait.
Please subscribe. I don't care if you like the show.
Are you guys playing basketball or what tomorrow?
We might do something physically active. Get outside and play some smash ball or tennis.
Something like that. Yeah.
I was just curious.
Maybe we'll see.
And
It's been
if
raining.
we wouldn't have such nefarious people on here, I wouldn't have to call back in.
Thanks again. Subscribe.
I wouldn't have to call back